Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this morning on the last day of March. We really appreciate your viewership and you supporting our sponsors. Our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. We're looking at a nice day. They're calling for some rain coming in later and also calling for some rain tomorrow. And I've been watching that again. It's like a 100% chance again on Friday rain. And it's been like that for about 5 or 6 days. Remember last week we talked about it. They nailed it last week when it rained all weekend. So hopefully this rain's going to come through, get on out of here, not hang around like it did. So we keep our fingers crossed. So we're all pushing for Saturday to be a really good day to get out and catch some of those Spanish. High today is going to be actually up to 76 and low 68, so not much variance there in our temperature. Water temperature is going up to the highest it's been all year. It's at 67 degrees. All right, take a look at our river readings. Brought to us by Watson's Landing Marina and Dry Storage. We're looking at the Apalachicola Bluntstown. They're going up 16.1. The Choctaw at Caryville, 12.1, and they're going up now. It looks like I'm looking at Apalachicola. It looks like it's going to level off, and actually, it looks like Choctaw is going to go down in a couple of days. But today now they're going up, so be aware of that. Marine forecast, we're looking at south-southeast at about 15 to 25. We always talk about March comes in like a lion and leaves like a lamb, but this year it's going to leave like a lion also, because it's going to be blowing today. All right, we'll take our break. We'll be right back with our guest. All right, welcome back, folks. Familiar face here, Daniel.
Hey,
All right.
Thanks for having me, Coach.
We were talking during break. We hadn't get quite finished our sentence. Daniel Raphael, Bill Kramer Chevrolet, the former Tommy Thomas Chevrolet. Do y'all still get called Tommy Thomas on
Hey,
the
all the time. You know, that's a landmark for Bay County.
You know, I can remember, a lot of old timers can remember when his children would do the commercials when they were children.
Yeah.
And of course, now they have children working.
We have people come in all the time and say, we can remember Carolyn Thomas doing a Camaro commercial with it was zebra printed or something. That's before my time, but everybody remembers those commercials.
I remember them vividly because what it was, you know, it was a local guy, and he had his family on there, and I thought that was so cool. And he really believed in advertising.
Yeah.
And his reputation as just a good man was prevalent all over the community.
Yeah. Tommy Thomas was a true car guy. He loved the community, and the Kramers do as well, as far as donations and working throughout, but been really blessed, you know, as a family business.
Yeah, and supported the military, so strong in supporting the military, and I always admired him.
You'll remember this. Forget the sticker, let's dicker. That was Tommy Thomas's old saying. And that's what he would tell people. Forget the sticker, let's dicker.
Well, and I didn't plan on talking about that, but I got nostalgic thinking about that advertising in those days, and they were ahead of their time in doing that kind of stuff. But anyway, so everything going good down there?
Everything's going good. Truck sales are the best they've been, which we say that every time we come on the show, but it's just a fact. It's
well,
so
you hadn't
good.
been on here a while, and then because everybody's been busy.
Yes, sir.
But we talked about last year. Record-breaking year, wasn't it?
We had a record-breaking year in truck sales last year. It was just phenomenal with the rebates and the new technology, and the trucks are making up today it's incredible. People want them, and we can't keep them. We sell so many of them.
I don't know where, talking about past history, I don't know where trucks, you know, became the go-to vehicle in so many American families, but it was when it came to that, when it became comfortable to drive it. I know the old trucks, you know, it just ain't dad's old Chevrolet, whatever it was. It does, but you know, but somewhere I don't know what year, what decade it was, but it happened that way.
Yeah, trucks have gotten to be mainstream USA anymore because everybody can drive one. You know, used to a truck was just for a man, they'd say.
That's true. And
pull his boat.
Yeah, to pull his boat and haul his lawnmower and stuff like that.
But now you see more women driving pickups with things like the easy opening tailgate. They electric power steering. They've made these trucks to drive incredible. And If you haven't driven one lately, come down to Bill Kramer and look me up. I'll be more than happy to throw you the keys.
I'm gonna be a living testimony for just a comfortable truck. I wasn't used to a comfortable truck until 2 trucks ago, and then man, I said I'll never go back. and honestly, I just love my truck. And the other day I went fishing down at Cape San Blas, and I have that beach driving permit. And of course, I'm gonna have it 4-wheel drive. That's all I'm gonna ever have.
Me too.
And I get down there, you know, got an access point. I get down there, and I forget to put in 4-wheel drive, and I started driving down the beach, and I didn't need to put in 4-wheel drive.
That's right.
Because you know, I get spread out enough. Now I got in some areas where I went ahead and put in 4-wheel drive. I felt better.
It's always smart to put it in before you go in.
Yeah.
But the great thing about these trucks, you know, Chevrolet offers what they call a lock-in rear differential, and that's made by Eaton. They've been making that rear end since 1976. That part of that truck has not changed since before I was born.
Wow.
It wasn't broke, so we didn't fix it. But like I said, a lot of technology, and it's good to hear that you still liking your truck. I can remember one day fishing at St. Joe Pier or State Park, and I saw your truck. I parked next to you and left a note.
I remember that.
And I remember thinking, man, that truck looks good. He's got it dolled up.
It belongs in the right place.
Yes, sir.
At a boat ramp or somewhere.
Yes, sir.
And when I retire soon, there'll be more of those scenes too. I'll be sending you.
I tell you what, maybe we'll get to go fishing together.
And you're off on Mondays. That's your day off usually.
Yes, sir. Mondays is my day off.
So you get a Sunday and Monday. You still get a 2-day weekend.
I do. I get a 2-day weekend, which we're open on Sundays 1 to 5. And we alternate those days,
Okay.
but Sunday and Monday is my day off. Yes, sir.
And so you've been taking advantage of it.
I have. I've had the opportunity to. My best friend Matt Cabness lives on Panama City Beach. He's got a brand new 21-foot Key West center console, and so he'll let me run the boat, you know, and we go fishing on Mondays and, you know, have a good time.
That makes me feel good. Now we've got Bill Kramer and Harsh Marine.
Man, I tell you what,
2 good
Bubba
sponsors.
Hart, great guy.
He is.
He bought several vehicles from me.
Yeah.
Bubba and Candace are good people.
They're good folks, and Harsh Marine. In fact, I'm getting up there this week and see them. We've got to get some stuff rolling on some other stuff. How'd y'all been? Y'all been boat riding or fishing?
We've been fishing. We fished Monday real hard for Spanish and sheep's head, and we did real well. We caught about 7 sheep's head a person, but you can have 15.
That's
and
good.
the Spanish. We caught more Spanish last Monday than we did this Monday. And we trolled, believe it or not, all the way from St. Andrews all the way to Crooked Island.
Did you really?
Now that's the first time I've ever fished from here that way.
Uh-huh.
I've fished a lot of times from St. Joe back this way. But,
Right. So you
went the other way. We had a great time, and man, you forget how beautiful that beach is from St. Andrews to Crooked Island.
We're so fortunate to have Tyndall have that property and Shell Island owned by the state.
Yeah.
And that we're so fortunate to have that. We're going to take a quick break and talk about some more fishing stuff. Okay. All right, welcome back. Now, speaking of St. Joe and Daniel, a native of Gulf County.
Yes, sir.
The Blue Water tent sale is coming up.
That's a good time.
Yeah, I ran into you there last year.
Hey, if they put the tent up, I'm usually there. that is what you call man land. That's where you want to go. If you got any extra money that you've hidden from your wife that you can spend, it's a good place to take it.
Yeah, get out of that sock and go and take
That's
it down
right.
there. You got some good deals last year, I remember.
I did. I bought several trolling reels and rods and some baits and tackles, and I was very smart about it. I put my wife over in the corner, let her work the ladies' shirts and clothes that were on sale.
Yep.
And I bought my stuff and put it in the truck before she knew I bought it. That's a little technique.
Don't tell you the secret. Some of those ladies are watching, okay? I got a couple of pictures from reviewers. Midweek fishing has been good because you might have bad weather over the weekend, but during the middle of the week now, folks have been going Tuesday and Wednesday. Just a couple of pictures here. And here's some Spanish mackerel, folks. The Spanish are in. This is 2 guys, Carson Pope and Tyler Nikkei. And that's 2 fishing fellows right there, and they caught those Spanish in the bay, all right? I just want to let you read this post. This is right here, Captain Dan Stripling from Panama City on Panama City Fishing. And read what he said. Released a dozen or so female sheep that looked like they were about to explode with eggs. All I kept were males except for 2 not so fat girls. Pompano was starving for a jig and only caught 1 on a shrimp. That's interesting right there.
Wow.
And be able to catch those pompano on a jig and not a live shrimp there. All right, 1 or 2 more. Here we go. This is 2 hours on Beach Drive. Just fishing 2 hours on Beach Drive. and I'm gonna show them Friday fishing report where he's talking about. And the last one here, let's see, Shane Sanders and his son went out Tuesday and caught 30, or Wednesday, I believe, caught 36 trout. They caught and released all of them. They were just kayak fishing, and a lot of them were small, they said, but they had a great time. All right, and one more picture, one of our viewer, Dana Sewell Cole, up in Alpha on a nice bass. Okay, so that's just some midweek pictures right there, and that's fascinating when you get time off to go. Well, you got to match the weather up when you time off.
You're right. It's hard to do here lately.
Well, this past weekend was a tough time as far as weather and all, but a lot of folks didn't get to do it. But this coming weekend, should be good. Saturday, hopefully. Tommy Barnes, we'll tell Tommy we missed him. Has he been doing any fishing? He's been working all the time.
Tommy's like me. He's been working all the time. Tommy's been working on some property up in Jackson County. He's building a bat cave, if you will. He's an escape. He's somewhere he can go when he gets ready to retire one day. But he's been doing fences and landscaping and not a lot of fishing for that fellow.
Okay. All right. And Jack Simmons, has he been down to the creek yet lately?
I don't think he has. He's just got done finishing building his house, and he's putting in the pool and sod, and hey, we're all busy, man. It's been wide open.
Our viewers, I know, can sympathize with you. So many of them have the same thing. Work gets in the way of fishing. Yep. And I know a lot of our viewers also retired, and they're fortunate and able. The ones I talk to that are retired, they love going during the week and not on weekends.
I don't blame them.
And beat the crowds like that.
I tell you what, we're really, and boater safety. When you guys are out there fishing this year, that pass, I could not believe on a Monday how many people were in and out of there, and a lot of them seem to not even know how to operate a boat.
Yeah.
You got to be careful out there.
Well, it's an accident waiting to happen, and it would have kind of caused. You're right, and we talked about boater safety yesterday. Those 2 accidents we've had, but in that situation there, all it takes is one bad driver to beat 3 or 4 boats run into each other. They're so close and all.
And fishing on those jetties, I mean, you see these guys. A lot of them, and they've been doing it for years, and they got it down to a science. And I'm watching how they do it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just throw their anchor within 5 foot of those rocks, and those waves coming in. You can really get in trouble.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to talk about it tomorrow. I was going to talk about it today. And on Deepwater Point, where Grand Lagoon comes out into the bay, there's a fine line between where the shore fishermen and the boats are working together. And sometimes the boats will get in a little bit too close, but they don't realize it that they're that close to the.
Right.
And I've been in the boat and I've been on the shore, and I know both sides of the story. And I know as a shore fisherman, you feel like, well, this is all I got to fish, and you boats can fish all over the place, and leave me alone, let me fish here. And as a boat fisherman, you're thinking, they can't throw out this far, and it's not going to hurt, And in fact, last year we had the same situation. And there's always most people, there's always 1 or 2 guys who think they can throw it across St. Andrew Bay, and they'll try that, and really they're throwing past the Spanish, because the Spanish really hug that area right there.
Right.
But there's enough room for everybody. You just have to work together on that.
That's right. That's right.
Do anybody else down there do any kind of trout fishing or?
We saw a couple kayakers doing some trout fishing in the bay there, and a lot of people were fishing off the shore. They were casting, retrieving, and everybody else was trolling or fishing off the rocks.
Yeah.
There were a few people. We did go outside on the main beach and look for cobia, and a lot of people are doing that now, which is a little early for cobia, but they're here in small numbers, I assume.
They've caught a couple of them, and then it's slacked off. And we're going to talk about cobia fishing tomorrow. I've seen 1 or 2. Like I say, this weekend knocked a hole in it, but 1 or 2, like Monday or Tuesday this week when it calmed back down. But I know the captain's out there, pretty strong. And you see get back to one of those pictures with Captain Stripling, how that was smart fishing right there. How he released those females with eggs. And we talk about that a lot, and a lot of people are beginning to do that now. Yeah, they kept enough, they could eat those fresh fish,
That's right.
And yeah, they released enough. And to me, that's a happy medium.
Well, yeah, you're protecting your resources and being responsible.
Exactly. Now, what's going on down in St. Joe Bay? Your dad been able to
I know right now, and I've seen some posts made by Clint Moore. The trout are getting good in St. Joe Bay, according to Captain Clint. Catching a bunch of them, over off Black's Island and here and there. I think Clint in his charter the other day had roughly 32 fish he caught total. And they were all nice-sized trout. They weren't little skinny fellas. They were big trout.
Yeah.
So that's we're starting to see the pickup in trout fishing there.
That's we've been mentioning that last week or two on the Friday fishing report that St. Joe Bay is starting to pick up some.
Yeah.
Now is Captain Clint is he fishing still out of Presnell?
He is. He's fishing there out of Presnell. He's got his little business there where he does a pretty good bit of business in St. Joe Bay.
He's a good fisherman.
He's a good guy, a good fisherman.
He is. I really like him.
It's unique this time of year. We start getting these warmer weather, and you start seeing these, the trout come in, the redfish are starting to come back. You get the drum fishing. Everything is just the way the good Lord designed everything to happen.
That's the way it's supposed to work.
That's the way it's supposed to work. It's interesting to watch.
I mean, I guess it would get boring if you catch fish every time you went out there. It wouldn't be that much fun.
It wouldn't be called fishing.
I know it.
It'd be called catching.
I know it. You can't do that. It's like hunting. You can't shoot a buck every time you go out there.
That's right.
It's just the thrill of going, and a lot of outdoorsmen realize that. That's why we see beauty in such things as the sunset and the sunrise and the leaves, just beautiful green leaves this time of year. Now, your dad living right there by Presnell's fish camp. I see, and I mentioned on the show about a couple weeks ago, they are redoing the campground.
Yes, they are, and they are. I was over at Dad's house Easter, and we looked across the canal, where he lives, and they're really doing a phenomenal job with that. They're going to open it on up.
I saw a little sign, but I didn't pay much attention to it. And then next time I went down there, I sort of stopped and rode around and looked at it.
Yeah.
That's going to be a first-class camping facility.
It's going to be a mecca because they got it going on one side of the road and the other side of the road.
Right.
My dad had 1.5 acres across the street there, and he sold it to them for them to expand on their business. And folks, if you're looking for somewhere you want to camp, when they get that rascal going,
we're gonna get down there again, and because they're making good progress.
Yes, they are.
And next time we're down there, we'll maybe stop by and talk to them. Let's take our final break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the final segment of Panhandle Outdoors. One of our loyal, not just viewers, but one of our loyal sponsors here with Bill Kramer Chevrolet, Daniel Raphael. Always glad to have Daniel here. And member of the Raphael clan from 500 years ago, almost.
Ooh, Lord,
not that far.
550 to be exact.
We'll get to that. Let's do our fishing game times first. Brought to us by Mark Cowart of Counts Realty. 5:46 to 8:46. Don't want to miss that minute. This morning and this evening, 7:11 to 9:11. How late are y'all open at night?
We are open until 7 o'clock or the last customer leaves. We're there.
Okay.
We're there. We're one of the few dealerships open from 8:30 to 7 o'clock, and Saturdays and Sunday 1 to 5.
And you he's not a new employee. He's been there a little while now, but I hadn't mentioned the name. Bill Allen's son, Austin Allen, is working for y'all now.
He is. He's down in the new truck department. He's doing a good job.
That's across the road.
Yes, sir. That's across the way, right across Frankfort Avenue.
I don't buy a lot of new stuff, so I may not see him. I like to get a truck that is slightly used and knock off that price and all that. But y'all got that deal was $10,000 off. Y'all still doing $10,000?
$10,000 off Chevy Silverado and certain GMC Sierra pickup trucks, which is crazy.
The truck I got before this one was that kind of deal, and that's why I bought a new truck then.
That's right.
And that was one of the few times in my life I bought a new vehicle, but we looked at the numbers, and that $10,000 off, it brought it down lower than the used one I was going to buy on the lot.
That's
right.
I
remember that.
That's
remember
right. That? I do. That truck was brown. Was it a brown color?
It was grayish.
Grayish brown?
Yeah.
It's a pretty truck.
Yeah, champagne like. That's right.
Got a beautiful GMC Sierra now. That's a pretty truck. I noticed the brush guards you put on it when I pulled up.
Yeah,
it looks good.
Yeah, I always got to dress them up. I just got something about me. I just got to. Not that I'm gonna drive it through the woods and knock trees down, but to me, it's just.
You never know.
Seriously, what I like about it, having those big old guards on it like that. If I do have a head-on collision, which I pray I would never do, but that just gives me that much more of a cushion.
Hey, that's exactly right.
I've always felt that way about it. Talking about, the Raphael family, and we don't joke about it because they've been so so strong about coming down here. This would be your great-granddaddy?
That would be my great-great-grandfather, yes.
Great-granddaddy came down in 1896, and what was fascinating when I started doing research on him was that when he came down from East Georgia, he came down and he didn't come straight to Panama City to Tyndall. He stopped along the way at 2 different places and built churches.
That's right. He built churches and schools on his way here. It took him 2 years to get from Georgia to here.
That was a fascinating story. I did not know that until I started doing research, and I started talking to old family members, and his last remaining son, Coy. I got to spend a lot of time with him. I have his stories on tape.
Right.
And such wonderful stories, and I know he talked about when it's settled. He remembers when they settled at Tyndall,
right,
which is Raphael Island.
Yeah.
And about where the airstrip back between it and the cemetery. Do you ever go?
I've been there a couple times, and it's such an interesting place to go back there and walk that. I've been up to the old homestead. You know, me and Dad with metal detectors.
You did?
And we had permission from the general at the time. I can't remember his name, but it's just so interesting. So much history in our area, everywhere really. But those guys they were tough, man. You think about.
Well, the Panther story that I did in the book, that was one of the most fascinating stories I did, because Coy remembers as a little boy on going to church on Wednesday nights and walking through the woods, and he remembers the panther screaming, and it just scared him. You know, the little kid that was screaming. They didn't have street lights and everything we have now. That was a rough time.
That's right.
But his dad, your great-granddad, took some old fish and always threw the fish out and they never got bothered by the panther. That's just a wonderful story. We're going to start wrapping things up. Daniel, appreciate you coming on, buddy.
I appreciate you having me. Sometimes I wish we could do like a marathon on this show. we get to talking, and hey, you need to.
Time flies on it.
It does.
One of the things you tell Tommy Barnes, I know he slept in this morning.
He did. He did.
You tell him that we missed him, and to try to send me some pictures of some of those bass he's been catching.
He hadn't been, I promise you. He's been working on that property.
He's just telling you all that. I know Tommy, he's sneaking out.
I got a funny story to tell you about him next time. Next time I come on, I'll tell you a story about Mr. Barnes that'll crack you up.
Okay. All right, folks. Thank y'all for all the concern yesterday about losing my dog. I really appreciate the phone calls and the emails and the texts. I do appreciate it. You have a great day today. Do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.